Awesome, a little FishingROV update. Kind of feel the need to explain why my videos have been a bit sparse lately, and this is one of the projects that's been distracting me. Well, the last day, but if it's not this one, it's another one. So the Insulation Folk is a government scheme that allows free insulation for lofts in Scotland, England, UK. But what they would do is come and lay the insulation over any existing floors, and as you can see, there's quite a lot of floors, and I've got, as you can imagine, quite a lot of stuff that needs stored. So currently empty the loft. I'm just busy dusting. So there's a certain amount of woodworm in the structural timber, so I thought, since how the loft was empty, I might as well treat it at the same time. Crazy 3D print of the day. I'm not sure I've done this one yet. To make a Hoover blow. Random 3D print of the day. It's a capacitor holder for a motor. It's an ancient compressor. It's a motor from a clipping machine. So I just replaced the bearings, give it oil up, and oiled the centrifugal switch, and printed off a little capacitor holder. I had both of these capacitors blow up. So the start capacitor, normally bigger power, bigger capacitance rated, but they're only meant to be in circuit for a few seconds, and what was happening was, because the bearings were sticky, it wasn't spinning up properly, which meant the centrifugal switch wasn't spinning out and releasing the switching from the start to the run capacitor. So it was running on the start capacitor, and it overheated and popped its end off. And then the same thing happened to the run capacitor. I assume it was just an old ancient thing. It just had enough. Yeah, so I printed off a nice little thing to hold it all smugly on, stop it rattling about. Yeah, just ABS again. It was going to be a blower for the new furnace, but way too noisy. It's kind of, yeah, in your face noisy. Haven't tried it with the variable frequency drive speed controller, but kind of noisy. Small orifices, so it's always going to be noisy. But yeah, giant blower. At the moment I'm just blowing the cobwebs away. Literally. Still got that side to do. Probably hasn't been done in years. It's kind of an odd mix of cobweb and lime dust. But aye, this is what I'm doing. And tomorrow with the boys, got the boys this weekend again, I'll lift the floor, which will allow the guys to lay insulation that way, this way, and then I'll come back and put in 2x4s between the joints of their insulation to lay the floor, these floorboards, maybe, we'll see how much worm they've got in them, across the way, and then probably stop it kind of just shy of the usable space, so maybe, I don't know, give it half a metre or something from the end, and then that should allow useful amount of storage and potentially saving 30% of my fuel bills, which is a beauty, because I just dropped 400 quid on oil for the winter, so anything I can say would be a bonus. But aye, yeah, it's a bit random. It's all good. This is what I'm working on. Nice. Blood coming out of it.
What's it? What?
The spider's broken. Oh, it's a floaty spider.
Look. I tried to...
Right, you get those nails down. Then you manage to bash all the nails down?
Look, keep trying. I think he tended to be dead.
Just pretending to be dead. It's a clever spider.
Like
Getting there. Coming along quite nicely actually, quite pleased with progress.
Tell me what's doing. Sound. Can you do the order? What's Daddy doing? Daddy doing?
Oh, we have a cup of tea.
Yeah. How did you turn it off?
A little bit of printer tweaking as well. So I finally got some glass on here. I just bought some silicon boroid glass from eBay for printers. I couldn't get anything to stick to it straight. Yeah, it was just peeling off. Even with acetone juice, even very thick acetone juice, it was still just peeling off. Printing on ABS, printing it hot like 100 degrees. So in the end I just gave up and put some Kapton tape on it. And the idea behind the glass is it'll flatten out the build plate to compensate for this crappy cheapo wonky build plate that's all bendy wendy, and I just stuck it down with some silicone. And if I do break it, I guess I can get in there with a Stanley knife and just, or a razor blade, and cut that and maybe put a little too much on there, but alright. And I've been struggling to print this shape, the battery holder for the jet boots and the ROV, because I'm on the 0.7mm nozzle now. It seems to have quite a serious ooze problem. So there's two things happening here. This was designed to print with a 0.4mm nozzle, so these walls were meant to be 0.8 to allow just a single shell inside and outside. So what I've done to get it to work, so under extruding my 20%, I also turned off the retraction, you know, where it skips from shell from place to place, because it was like pausing while it was retracting, it was oozing and depositing a big blob and then going to the next place. I tried turning up the extraction amount to like tripled it up to 12mm, but it didn't make all that much difference, and I was still getting problems. So in the end, I just turned off retraction, so it just jumps and leaves strings, and then come back with a big 19mm drill bit and just give you rattle with the drill to knock over those lumps. Kind of working now. Lovely and flat, and it sticks really well. Like maybe a little too well. It's a bit tricky to get it off. I don't know. Seems to come out slightly easier when it's hot. But I might make have a little metal plate that I can put on it. Little metal plate I can put on here. I can put a knife in to lever it off, to spread the load in the glass. I'm a little worried about breaking it, but we'll see what happens. I've recently been trying to use my time more effectively, so I've started with lists, and this is just a random thought from last night. So, kind of graphing it, just to give me an idea of what's going on. So, sum of project complexity on one axis, and then functional project completion on the other axis. So then if you've got no projects on, everything's dead simple, it happens quick. But then you kind of add projects and add projects and add projects, you know, with materials and time and thinking and development, and eventually get to this point here where you have a brain melt and you get nothing done. At the moment I think I'm somewhere about here. So I guess maybe multiplexing. You know, this is kind of what the list is doing for me, is simplifying it and then keeping things moving a bit. You know, trying to prioritize, like have set things I want to do of an evening if I have the beans to do it. Yeah, random thought. And then time money graph. You know, you got lots of money off for materials and stuff. It happens quick, and then eventually you're going to come down the graph where you got zip all money, but it probably winds up taking you a bit longer. But the printer is kind of, it's brought this end of the graph right down, so it's more kind of like this, I'd say. Like, the expense of things has gone down. You know, if you wanted to get a custom part made, it would cost you a fortune if you can deal with the limitations of the plastic. But the time money graph is skewed, which is brilliant. Quite enjoying the printer. I'm still getting through like maybe a kilo a week or something, maybe 3 kilos a month of printer's filament. So it's kind of, it's not super cheap, but I'm learning a lot as well. Random thoughts. Graph your life. Might as well fire it up.